intrepid travelers. There are a few things about Thailand that can completely change your trip that nobody, except for this podcast or a few others maybe, will tell you about. No one's going to tell you about it, and no one warned you about these things until you're actually here, and then it's too late. It's not big tourist stuff. What I'm talking about is the little details, the things that can either make your experience smooth and incredible or just like frustrating if you don't know them ahead of time. In this episode, I'm breaking down 8 things you need to know about Thailand that no one tells you, from the toilets here to the traffic to the hotels, the islands, and a few mistakes I see travelers make every single day. So if you're planning a trip to Thailand, this is one episode that maybe you save or listen to, and maybe it could also save you a lot of trouble when you get here. Okay, let's kick this episode off by talking about toilets. Something nobody puts in the beautiful brochures, but maybe they should so you could be prepared. If you're from America, toilets in Thailand are not always what you're used to. And if you're not prepared, it can catch you off guard pretty fast. The first thing to know, and a pro tip here, always carry a little bit of your own toilet paper or tissues with you. Sadly, I'm actually serious about this. Many public restrooms here in Thailand, especially in the provinces or the local markets, the bus stations, the local roadside spots, they simply do not provide toilet paper. Even some smaller restaurants won't have it stocked. A small travel pack in your day bag will save you, it'll save you more than once. Now, let's talk about the actual toilets themselves. If you go to the malls, man, that's fantastic. The malls, the hotels, and all the good infrastructure, you'll usually find the standard Western style toilets, and often just spotless. They've got a lady there just cleaning up after everybody. It's perfect, right? But once you get into the more local areas, the provinces, you may come across the dreaded squat toilets. These are exactly what they sound like. It's a ceramic basin with a hole in the floor, and you squat over it. It might feel unfamiliar at first, but it's actually very common across Asia, and actually considered by Asian people a little bit more hygienic. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, and big thanks to my mother-in-law here for replacing the farm squatty toilet with a regular sit-down Western version. I think the brand is even American standard. Now, for Americans, not so much you Europeans, but Americans, here's where it gets kind of interesting. In most Thai bathrooms, you'll find what we call a bum gun, and that's what we expats call it, a bum gun. I guess it's a bidet maybe. It's a handheld water sprayer next to the toilet with a tube and kind of like a sprayer. I think about like a car wash sprayer. It's a little miniature car wash sprayer. It's used instead of toilet paper or along with it. And once you get used to it, a lot of travelers actually prefer it. It's cleaner. It's more thorough, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense to use both. And since I've been here, I've always scratched my head. Why don't we have these things in the United States? They're pretty handy. In more basic restrooms, especially in the rural areas again, and older facilities, you might not even have a flush handle. You might have a regular sit-down toilet, but no flush handle. Instead, you'll see a large barrel or a basin of water with a small bucket. You scoop the water and pour it into the toilet to flush it manually. It works after a couple scoops, and it's definitely something you want to be mentally prepared for the first time you see it. One more critical tip in many places in Thailand, especially at the beach: you do not flush toilet paper down the toilet. They simply don't have the plumbing system there that can handle it. So when we're at the beach, places like Koh Phangan with a lot of people, we don't put toilet paper down the toilet because the last thing you want is those things stuffed up. You'll see a small bin, a small trash can near the toilet, and that's where the paper goes. It might feel strange at first, but it is standard practice. Bottom line, this is part of the adventure, I guess. Thailand is incredibly modern in many, many ways, but it still holds on to the old practical system that has worked for the environment and the infrastructure. If you know what to expect, it's definitely not a problem. And honestly, once you master the Thai bathroom, in my opinion, you've officially leveled up to a traveler and not so much a tourist. Well, while we're on the topic, let me teach you the most important survival phrase in the Thai language here. And you'll find this one matters. Okay, the phrase in Thai is Hong Nam Yu Tinai Krap. Hong Nam Yu Tinai Krap. Hong Nam means restroom, or literally it means water closet or room water, like water closet. So what that means is it's a question. Where is the toilet? Where's the toilet? Or more literally, where's the water closet? Now, you use krap if you're male and use ka if you're female. Trust me, this is the first Thai phrase you'll actually use a lot here in Thailand, and you'll probably need it sooner than you think. So practice it. Hong Nam Yu Tinai Krap, or Hong Nam Yu Tinai Ka, and you can thank me later. Okay. I can always tell, it's funny, I can always tell when a guy, a man, is in Thailand for the first or second day, because it almost happens all the time. He ends his phrases with ka instead of krap, because he's heard a lot of ladies say kapung ka, but really he's a man, so he's just mimicking what the polite women have said to him. So for clarity, men end their sentences with krap, and women end their sentences and they use ka, unless of course you're a lady boy. Now, speaking of lady boys, if you want to go to a cabaret here, remember that all the cabarets in Thailand, that's 100% lady boys. So if you want to go, okay, great, that's cool. A lot of Chinese do, but be aware, it's all lady boys, and you'll probably see 100 Chinese bus tours. Actually, they include at least one show in all their itineraries. For the record, at Thailand Adventure Expeditions and Tours, we skip those cabarets altogether. Wow, that was a lot just to start to talk about toilets. Now, let's talk about hotels, because this is where a lot of travelers that come to Thailand get it wrong. The first thing you need to understand, and it's something pretty important, is that foreigners cannot own land in Thailand. So, why does that matter to you? Well, if a Thai family owns a great piece of land, or even a good piece of land in a good location, there's a high chance they'll build a hotel on it, or at least what they think passes for a hotel. Now that sounds great in theory, but many of these are built with zero or any real hospitality experience whatsoever. But the strategy is simple. Keep the price really low and hope for the best. Sounds good. Get a low price, right? Well, actually, sorry, no. Most of the hotels in Thailand, which are under about $80 US a night, are simply not worth the trouble, to be honest with you. There are some great hidden gems that I find, but if it's under, maybe, I don't know, for the most part, if it's under, say, $50 a night, you're looking at incredibly hard beds, moldy bathrooms with zero ventilation, no fan, and incredibly tacky furnishings. Think the ubiquitous tacky ceramic lawn gnome for all kinds of things. You might get lucky, but more often than not, you're dealing with poor maintenance, inconsistent service, and rooms that don't match what you saw online, especially the online pictures. And that brings me to the next point. Never, ever trust location ratings on an online booking site here in Thailand. This happened yesterday. Literally, I did a hotel inspection yesterday that had a 9.2 location score on it. Should be fantastic, right? Well, when I got there, it was a 23-minute walk to the nearest BTS station. Not only that, but when I got there, the surrounding neighborhood really wasn't somewhere you'd want to explore. Kind of boring, especially for the first-time visitors. Same holds true for photos. A lot of the hotel listings in Thailand use pictures that are years old, like when the when the hotel first opened up. And what you see online and what you get in person can be very different. Faded furniture, warm bathrooms, and that it looked better online feeling when you're talking to the person you're staying with. It happens all the time. Now, I'll be honest with you, the one thing I do hold back on here, or hold back on all over the place, is my approved hotel list. For my business, that list is gold. And it's hard to get those recommendations out of me unless I'm booking hotels for you, or we're doing a tour or an expedition, right? It's built from I build this list from real inspections, real expedition guest feedback, the guests, they tell me, and knowing exactly which properties consistently deliver. If you want access to that list, you'll need to reach out and book a free Zoom planning call with me via our support email. So there is a way to access that list if you talk to me one-on-one and you ask for that through the support email. And one last thing most people don't realize, the best hotel rates in Thailand are usually found, not last minute, but usually found about 7 months in advance. So right now, it pays to plan ahead. The old days of just showing up and scoring a deal on a hidden gem are mostly gone. That used to be the case years and years ago when I first got here, but the market is shifting. Hotels are recovering from COVID losses, and with fewer Chinese tour groups, pricing strategies have changed quite a lot. So if you're planning a trip here, plan ahead. It makes sense, at least for the hotels and the flights. It makes a bigger difference than you might think. Okay, in the next segment, let's talk about restaurants, because this is one of the best parts of being in Thailand and also one of the biggest mindset shifts for travelers. First, not all restaurants are going to look like what you're used to in the West, so be prepared for that. Some of the best meals, though, that you might have are from places that look simple, even a little rough around the edges, definitely rough around the edges, plastic chairs, open air kitchens, maybe an oscillating fan spinning overhead. But don't let that fool you. The food is almost always excellent. I was just thinking about dinner last night, where I had dinner last night, and the plastic chair was even broken, but the food was absolutely amazing. Now, if you're eating with Thai people, this is important to know, meals are ordered family style. Dishes come to the middle of the table and everyone shares in each thing. You take a little bit from each plate and you build your own meal as you go. So if everyone at the table loves something like cashew chicken, hey, you'd better order two because someone's going to get left out. The good news here is it's affordable enough so you can order as many as you want. Thailand isn't a place to be shy about ordering food, that's for sure. Another thing you'll notice is how the food comes out. There's no everything arrives all at once like in the West. No. As each dish is finished cooking, it's brought to your table. Fresh, hot, straight from the wok. Nothing is sitting under a heat lamp at all. Here's something you're going to love. Thailand does not have a tipping culture at all, really. You don't need to tip. It's not expected. And honestly, it makes everything feel about 15% cheaper compared to the United States. Now, if you really want to go out of your way and tip, great. It's all appreciated for sure. But you definitely don't have to, and it's not all expected because nobody's doing it. As for getting sick, most people actually worry about, hey, I'm going to get sick from the food. But the reality is the food hygiene is generally very good because the ingredients are bought fresh daily every morning, right? If you do have stomach issues, it's usually from the spice level and not bad food. Thai food has a kick, that's for sure. And if you're not used to it, your body will let you know in different ways. And if you're craving air conditioning while you eat, there is an easy solution. Head to your nearest mall. Malls here in Thailand, man, they take it to another level. The malls here are fantastic. They do them right. And almost every mall has an entire floor, dedicated to food and restaurants. You'll find incredible food courts, what we would call food courts, with dozens of almost Michelin star vendors. It's just awesome. Now, here's how it works, though. Once you get there, you're going to be a little bit perplexed. You go in and you buy a prepaid card at the counter, like a little prepaid credit card, and then walk around and you order from multiple stalls. You'll see, a lot of Thai food, a lot of Chinese food, real Chinese food, some Korean food, Japanese food, maybe a little Western food. Yeah, it's all in there for these food courts. They're quick, they're clean, affordable, and honestly, it's really good quality. You just order. When they give you the food, you hand them that card, they swipe the card, and then they show you the balance left on the card so you can still continue to order as much as you want. I eat at these mall food courts all the time. It's one of the easiest and most reliable ways to get a great meal in Thailand. I think I need to do an episode about just what you could do at the malls here in Thailand. They're so awesome. They really are amazing. I think I'll do an episode on that. All right, listen up on this one, please. This one matters. It's all about staying safe in Thailand. And let me get right to the most important point. If you're from the United States or anywhere that they drive on the right-hand side of the road, look right, not left, right before crossing the street. This is important, and at first you have to think about it, right? Traffic in Thailand drives on the left. That means the direction that you're used to checking first is wrong here. Sounds simple, right? But this is where people get caught off guard. Honestly, the best habit, obviously, is to look both ways every single time. Not just once either, maybe twice. Because even if you think you're clear, remember scooters here, or motor scooters, are everywhere. And they don't always follow any rules at all, or at least rules that you would expect. You'll see scooters riding along the edges of roads, weaving in and out of traffic. And yes, most of the time, even on the sidewalks, for sure, a lot on the sidewalks. You always need to be aware of where these scooters are coming from. They're coming from every direction. Here's another one most people don't think about. When you're getting out of a car, like the car is stopped in the road and you're getting out on the curb, especially from the passenger side, always look back before opening your door. There's almost always a scooter coming up at you alongside the road along your car. They're not slowing down. They just don't care. At red lights, you'll notice something else. The scooters don't line up behind the cars. As you might expect, they all move to the front of the queue, right underneath the traffic light in a big pack. So even when the traffic is stopped, car traffic is stopped, the scooters are still moving all around you, squeezing in to every available space. It can feel a bit chaotic at first, but there is a flow to it, and you need to just stay alert and not assume anything about these scooters. Now here's what's going to make your life easy, especially in Bangkok. Just use the BTS SkyTrain and you don't have to put up with that, right? It's fast, it's clean, it's air conditioned. Hey, it's awesome. And it completely removes you from the chaos of the street traffic in Thailand. If you can take the SkyTrain, well, you can take the SkyTrain to just anywhere you want to go in Bangkok. It's pretty easy to do. It's the safest and most efficient way to get around the city. Master that, and you've eliminated one of the biggest headaches and risks travelers face in all of Bangkok. All right, this next one is very important to know for planning purposes. See, the next big one that no one will ever tell you about, and most travelers have no idea about it until they're actually here and it becomes important, is that not all Thai islands are the same. And I'm not just talking about the beaches or the resorts. I'm talking about the culture. If you're coming to Thailand and expecting a traditional Thai Buddhist experience, even on the islands, you might land on an island that is predominantly Muslim. And this will absolutely change your overall experience. The infrastructure can feel very different. The food is very different. The daily rhythm of life is different. And in many cases, there are simply fewer tourist or traveler-focused activities available to you on these islands. Let me give you a very clear example. Koh Lanta is primarily a Buddhist island. It's well developed for tourism and it has plenty of restaurants, everything you can imagine. It has beach bars and tour options and many things to do, many scuba trips even. And that's one of the reasons it's so popular with travelers. Now compare that to Koh Yao Yai. Koh Yao Yai is predominantly Muslim and it sits in a absolutely prime location. It's that long, narrow island that sits right in between Phuket and Krabi, with absolutely stunning and iconic beaches. On paper, it should be one of the most visited islands in Thailand, but man, it is often, and I mean very few people go, it is often overlooked. Why? Because it offers a quieter, more local Muslim experience, I guess. There are far fewer nightlife options, almost none, fewer organized activities, although the mangrove kayaking was pretty fun there. And the food scene is definitely reflects the local culture. You won't find pork dishes on that island, for example. It was really difficult. That said, there is a trade-off. I guess there's a trade-off for everything. If you're looking to unplug and slow down and experience a different side of Thailand, Koh Yao Yai can be just your ticket. Right? In fact, one of my favorite bungalow stays, if you're just going to stay in the bungalow on a cliffside overlooking Krabi, in all of Thailand, my favorite bungalow stay is on Koh Yao Yai, and it faces towards Krabi with all the limestone karsks coming out of the sea. Just amazing view. It's the kind of place that you read about in the books, and speaking of that, I actually share it in my book, Getting Lost in the Magic of Thailand, Island Hopping Down the Siam Spice Route. Now, one thing you should be aware of on Muslim islands, and this part and this is part of the experience I can definitely do without, is early morning call to prayer. Oh, God. Around 5:30 a.m., 5:30 in the morning, you'll hear it broadcast on loudspeakers all across the island. For me, it's an early morning wake-up call I didn't plan on, nor do I want. I guess depending on what you want, neither experience is either better or worse. They're just different, but you need to know about it. But if you don't know about the difference before you go, you might end up on an island that doesn't match the kind of experience you were expecting. Better to ask someone who has been there and knows which is which. Whew. I'm going to call this final segment Godzilla on a Sky Train. All right, let me finish with something simple, but again, super important if you want to make a good impression on the locals here in Thailand. When you step onto any SkyTrain, the BTS SkyTrain, the MRT, any SkyTrain system, do one thing immediately, please. One thing immediately. Take off your backpack. Okay, here's why. Every time you turn to talk to someone, every time you check your phone, every time you look out the window, or even just shift your body, that backpack swings around like Godzilla's tail, knocking down tall buildings left and right. And the person getting hit, it's usually the person standing right behind you on a packed train, usually some, nice Thai person just trying to go along their day. It happens all the time. I see it all the time. I see it almost every day. And it's never Thai people. It's almost always either Westerners or Chinese people, sometimes Koreans. Most people don't even realize they're doing it though, so it's no big deal. I understand, but man, it can make the Thai people not happy. But from a local perspective, it comes off as seriously inconsiderate, like the definition of a Karen, right? Thailand is very polite and a very aware culture. and they're gonna try to save face. So they'll never tell you about it. They'll never confront you. People are consistently adjusting themselves to not inconvenience others. So something as simple as taking off your backpack and holding it to your side, or even between your feet, or even putting it on the front of your body goes a long way. It's a small move, but it signals respect and that you know what you're doing. And honestly, this is also a great reason to pack light, right? Quick shout out to my guy Pete from London, my boy Pete. Pete and his girlfriend showed up for a 2-week holiday with only one small carry-on bag each. And I'm not even talking about the rolly type. I'm just talking about like a you hold. No checked luggage whatsoever for 2 weeks. He bought the clothes he needed here in Thailand and used a 24-hour coin laundry, maybe only once or twice. And then at the end of the holiday, he bought a regular checked bag for the flight home. Only one checked bag, only one direction. Smart move, Pete. Way to go. He saved money on flights. He stayed mobile. He avoided hauling around a ton of stuff he didn't need. Man, well done, brother. Love you, man. So remember, take off the backpack, be aware of your spatial awareness, and travel lighter than you think you need to. Right? You'll move easier, less stress, and you definitely won't be Godzilla on the SkyTrain. Now you know 8 things about Thailand that no one tells you, but I did. Once you know them, your entire experience could change for the better. These are little things that separate a good trip from like the great ones, the kind of details that help you move through Thailand with confidence, avoid frustration, that's the main thing, 0 stress, and actually enjoy the culture instead of fighting against it. And here's the truth, the more prepared you are before you arrive, the more freedom in Thailand you actually have once you're here. So if you want help planning your trip, choosing the right islands, maybe, picking the right hotels, maybe, or building an itinerary that actually flows the way it should, send me an email at support@thailandadventurenetwork.com. Again, support@thailandadventurenetwork.com. Put the word insider in the subject line, podcast insiders, and that way it'll get directly to me. I review every single email on that support email that says podcast insider or itinerary for that matter. I'll send you the link. And we'll set up a free Zoom call, right? No pressure, just real advice on what type of trip and adventure you might be trying to have, and I'll certainly help you then. Okay, that's a wrap for this episode. I am your host, Bill Mullen. I'm also the author of Getting Lost in the Magic of Thailand, Island Hopping Down the Siam Spice Route. That will be available for pre-order next month, actually. And also stay tuned to this podcast because we're going to start to share with you the details of our bucket list expedition to the Yiping Lantern Festival in November. Definitely want to hear about that as well. Okay, until then, travel far, connect deeply, and live fully.